revisited our top reps and their thoughts of our organizations and our programs here in our office, in the KW office, and they told me that they are constantly, every few weeks, going back to their manual and re-memorizing, word for word, page 21, Reco approach, and 10 from the summary onto the 12, depending on the layout of their manual, the close. Every few weeks, going back and revisiting. So what does it tell you what you guys should be doing? All right. They've got it right consistently. Rapport starts where? Circle 1. Hands up for at the demo. Who thinks rapport starts at the demo? Okay. Yeah, your ball looked ahead. Good stuff. Who thinks rapport starts on the phone? Okay. Nice, Hannah. All right. On the phone. Who thinks rapport starts at the previous demo? All right. Everybody else who takes my cue. Circle at the previous demo. Circle at the previous demo. Why? Because you can learn such great things from the customers who are inviting you to see that other person. You know? Some really great questions that I ask myself. You know, what is this person's passions? When I'm qualifying my step 3, qualifying my recommendations, what is this person's passions? What is the one thing they do better than anybody else? And it could be, if you ever heard Eric Cheshire's talk on seeing the right people on VectorConnect.com, highly recommend it. You can talk to your manager about that one, but he talks about, do they make the best apple pie in the world, for example? Right? Do they have more kids than anybody else you've ever heard of? You know? Do they have the biggest house you have ever set foot in? Cool things like that help you relate to them on the phone. Right? Do they have any really cool nicknames? All right? Special skills, etc. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I want it to sound cool. The point is, do you look like you show Cutco? Do you look like you show Cutco? Or do you look like you show Henkel's? Or do you look like you show dollar store knives? Do you show up with a mustard-stained wife beater? All right? Or do you look like you show up with polished shoes? Look like you tried? I asked Jessica Atkinson, one of our top AMs, you're going to see her promoted tonight, just at FSM on Monday. And she said, I dress as though I tried. I dress like someone the customer would feel comfortable spending a lot of money on today. Does that make sense? Might be the biggest tip you take away from my message. Dress like somebody the customer would feel comfortable spending money on today. The customer spends money every single day. Is that right or wrong? It's correct. Customers spend money on different things, different amounts every single day, all day. So the point is, who do they spend the most money on? How are bank tellers dressed? How are bank tellers dressed? Next time you're in your bank branch, check it out. I would suggest that would be a good example of demo attire. For the most part, but with some exceptions. Not the bank manager, bank tellers. Think about that. Okay? All right, here we go. Next point. What is the status of your blue book and kit? What is the status of your blue book and kit? In brackets, what does it say? And do you have them? Who's ever shown up to a demo and realized something's missing? Yes? Kit, hands up if you forgot your kit at a demo before. All right? Oh, my hand is up. Who's ever shown up to a demo before and forgot their blue book? Yeah, a few more hands. Makes it harder, doesn't it? It's tough. Who's ever sold something when they forgot their blue book? Yeah. Cutco's awesome. Who's ever sold something when they forgot their sample kit? Cutco was amazing. All right? How about that guarantee? Wicked good stuff. All right. Never call before the demo. It invites cancellations. Never call before the demo. It invites cancellations. I know you've been taught this. I know you've been told this, but you've still done it. I know because I have. If you haven't done it, good for you. You're starting the right way. Continue the right way. If you haven't done it, smarten up. All right? Because I don't care if it's friends, family, or recommendations. It's an invitation to say, you know, I'm in my comfy pants right now. I really don't feel like seeing you. Have you ever heard anything like that before? Called before? It's okay. You can admit it. If you called before, we're comfortable here. We're safe. It's all right. You're okay. You can trust me somewhat. Mentally say, you ready for this? I love you before every customer interaction. I love you. There's a movie I'm thinking of right now. There's a dog in the backseat of a truck. He's like, I love you. It's really funny. All right. I like dogs. You know, one of our other assistant managers, Joel Murray, going to get another promotion tonight as well to district manager. He loves on everyone he meets. I said that properly. He loves on everyone he meets. Before every single time he rings the doorbell and knocks on the door, he says, I love you, to the door. Just ask him, okay? He builds relationships and connections, though, like no one else I've ever met before, including some of our management staff and top key staff people, including those people. Builds connections and relationships because he loves up on all of his customers. He loves up on all of his customers. He shows them the most love he possibly can. Ask him about it. It's one of his big keys to success you'll get. When at the door, knock or ring, Then take 2 steps back, stand sideways, I'm serious, and find something cool about their house or neighborhood. Okay, find something cool about the house or neighborhood. What does that allow you to do? What does that allow you? Material for it. What's that? Small talk. And Matt will call it small talk. I call it building rapport, of course, obviously is what you mean, right? You said as well? Say what's your name?
Mark.
Mark, okay, cool. Yeah. Small talk, sure. Building rapport, yeah.
And it also helps in case you sit in a big garden or something like that. You can also know, like, oh, the garden's set right.
Okay. Oh, I didn't. You should be giving this talk next year. I like that. That's great, Hannah. All right, cool. It also, the first part of taking 2 steps back and sideways, let's say this is my door, okay? This is my door right here, okay? And you show up, you got sample kits, right? Now I got a holy bag, all right? But you got sample kits under your arm, maybe you have a gym bag, backpack, you look however you look. Sharp, young, attractive, young, university, college, high school student, male, female, I don't care, it doesn't matter, you're still not either way. The point is, you show up, bag under arm, and you're front and center in the door. Look like this, you're like, knock, knock, knock. Drapes. Okay? Now, contrast with knock, knock, knock. Oh, hi, Mrs. Jones. I'm Aaron with Cutco. Pleasure to meet you. Now, you might think that I'm looking like bored, right? Is it less intimidating or more intimidating to be 2 steps back and sideways than if you were front on the door? Because you're holding knives, don't forget, right? They know that. You got that, folks? If you're seeing a stranger recommendation, right, your cold market? All right. Know that the odds are in your favor. The odds are in your favor. Expect great results. What proof do you have not to? Now I know, without asking for a show of hands, there are some of you in this room might have done your first few demos, maybe 1 demo, might not even have done a demo to this point yet in your career. Might have had some sales, no sales, a ton of sales, crushed your fast start, whatever. I didn't, but that's okay. Nobody's perfect. But you have some kind of experience under your belt, whether even if it's just training. Now, some of you went through training not expecting or trusting that what we were actually teaching you was accurate. I know this because that's how I went through training. I gotta know there's more than one of me. All right? Now, when you first sell your first set, how do you feel? I always joke about my training class. I say, so when you have your first order, how's it going to make you feel? Confident. And you're going to finally be able to trust me when you have your first order. But it's true. Now, there is no indication, there is no proof whatsoever that you would not sell Cutco. Do we see how that works? We sold over $200 million last year. Before that, we had our biggest year in Cutco sales in Canada ever. Before that, we also sold another almost $200 million. Okay? We broke records. Do you think we just stumbled upon $200 million in the year? Do we just happen into it? Whipped off this training manual before you guys got to training class and just say, hey, let's fill in some of these blanks, we'll hope this works this weekend. No! It's a stat. It's an average. It's a fact. You know? So, just keep that in mind. Why not just give in? I've written here. Why not just give in, know the product's awesome, and then just show people? Why not just give in? It's okay to be excited about showing knives. Ready? I'm gonna try this. Try run. Here we go. Ninja tip. Help them want to be there for and look forward to the demo. By being somebody they want to meet right from the phone call, use outstanding firm up technique. Come on, y'all. Using outstanding firm up technique. All right, we're gonna try that. Work on it. We've got 2 more to practice. I'm only here for a little bit of time. Firm up technique. I'm gonna give you, you can write this in your notes section. My team knows this because I brag about it all the time. I am, to the best of my knowledge, I made this up. There are variations of this, but this is what I say to firm up a phone call. Who knows that the more you get a customer to laugh, the better the demo is going to be, the more likely they are to be there when you get there. Does anybody know that? If you don't, you do now. Congratulations. Here's the thing, is if my phone call has gone terribly, this is what I say to get a chuckle. Ready? Now, Mrs. Jones, this is the most important part for me. If you can jot that down for me, and if you could put beside my name, smiley face, short black spiky hair, big nose, big ears. Maybe glasses, maybe not. Draw 2 smiley faces just in case. That way you'll recognize me when you get to the door. So accept no imposters. Might be a little bit of a silence. Might be a, ha! You're funny. Alright? Doesn't matter how used to have something similar. You know, tape a penny to the fridge. If I'm driving by, that's what my car looks like. This is the color, make, and model of my car. Chuck the penny at me if I drive past you because I'm probably lost. I need help. Okay? There's tons of them. Okay? Ninjas are getting them laughing using a standing firm up technique. Section 1, good so far? Okay. Section 2, during the demo. Ask trust-building questions. Trust-building questions. Examples. Are my shoes okay here? It's polite. It's respectful. And when they see that you are not like their kids who are disrespectful and ill-mannered, kick their shoes in mud everywhere, that you're different. They want their kids to be like you. So you ask trust-building questions. Okay? Am I okay parked there? Did the bus drop me off in the okay spot? Whatever your situation is. Okay? Is it okay if I let myself back in? This is a technique that I quite often use, road testing. When you go into really great demos, and I forgot something in my car, like Jerry, I'm moving my ultimate block, for example. Right? That block fitter line, by the way, one of the best things you'll ever say. It's great. Anyways, you'll go out and say, hey, Mrs. Jones, is it okay if I let myself back in? Now, who lets themselves into your customers' homes? What kind of people let themselves into your customers' homes? Like, I mean, not just the wrong person. I don't want to hear that. Well, like, who lets themselves into customers' homes? Give me examples. Family. Very cool. Good eye. All right, great. What else? Good friends. Great neighbors, right? What kind of culture are you creating with your client by allowing them to let you back in, right? Now, you can pass an expensive vase on the side of the hall. You can pass a gold mantelpiece that you could swipe if you wanted to. Kit bag's big enough. But they trust you enough by letting you let yourself back in. Does that make sense? All right, cool. That's not a good idea, by the way. That's not my ninja tip for this section. All right? Kit bag is not big enough for that. All right. Great. Be appreciative. Be appreciative. If you want to talk to me at lunch for this wording later, maybe, this is what I say. I just want to thank, I say this almost every single appointment. Because if you notice, you're almost always in a contest. Almost fast start, challenge week, push week. Race for charity, scholarship race, new scholarship race. Always in a contest. But no matter how hard you work, you're always in a contest. I just want to thank you so much for seeing me. I'm in this really huge contest right now, so every single demo really does make a world of difference to me. What does that do? Plugs recommendations, okay? Plugs appreciation, gratefulness. Build sincere and meaningful rapport. Build sincere and meaningful rapport. We talked about small talk, right, Matt? I was talking with a friend at a celebration recently on New Year's evening, and the conversation revolved around sales and, oh, you salesmen, you're always great at chatting up people and small talk, blah, blah, blah. And one of the biggest tips I'll give you is don't talk about the weather unless the person's a meteorologist. You get that? Don't talk about the weather unless this person's a meteorologist. That's the people who study weather. That's the only time it'll really matter. Okay? Walk in the door. So, snowed outside. No, not cool. Alright? A little better rapport than the previous demo. Make that a better opening line. Okay? I mentioned the story because there might have been some Pepsis involved, but I distinctly remember the conversation going, you know, no, weather talk isn't small talk. Weather affects global situations. You know? It's huge. It affects the whole world. It's not small talk. Right? An example there, how you can use that to your advantage. Alright. Guide them to the kitchen and arrange them properly around the table. Kitchen. Arrange them properly on the table. You sit first. Arrange them properly and sitting first are two of the same, they're like each other. They feed into each other. For example, Mr. and Mrs. Jones are leading you to the kitchen. You choose, as soon as you see that kitchen table or living room table or wherever you're doing the demo, exactly where you want to sit. Where do you want to sit? Where does your back need to be? Where does your front need to be? Where do you want to be facing? Any potential distractions. Okay? Any potential distractions. You walk into a kitchen, and you know how a lot of those kitchens have the big sliding glass doors in the backyard? Okay? You walk in, where are you going to sit? Facing the what? Big sliding glass door where lots of things can happen in the backyard while the demo's going on. Now, I've seen weird things happen, folks. I've seen weird, messed up things happen during demos, but I don't react until the end of the demo. Here's what it looks like. I'm doing the demo, guaranteed wherever I am. The dog is having like a fight with the squirrels in the backyard, okay? Oh, I'm serious. There's like 15 squirrels circle the dog, okay? The dog is like, "Quaw!" And the squirrel's like, yeah! You know, it's crazy. They got knives, they got swords, they got guns. The squirrel brings out a grenade, right? What? It's crazy. Trident? Okay? Dog beats them all down. Of course, dogs are awesome. Obviously. Way better than cats. Dogs are awesome. Cats set the squirrels up to ambush the dog. I've seen it happen. Alright? But you know what I didn't say? I didn't say, hey, by the way, your dog is run-tailing those squirrels. I didn't say that. I said, hey, by the way, while I'm leaving, your dog was like really kicking some squirrels' butt, by the way. You want to check that out. See you later. Okay? That's how it works. You face the distractions. Big TV, that's a big distraction for me personally, but I stay focused. I don't let my Mr. Jones see the back of my, see the TV himself. Make sense? All right, cool. Take the water. Take the water. Anybody ever been, offered a drink? Tea, coffee, water, pop, other soft drinks during the demo? You've all been offered those things, I'm sure. Why is somebody offering you those things? Let's dive into psychology very quickly. They want you to be comfortable, they want to be a good host, right? They do. If you don't take the water, what does that make them feel about you? I'm not really here to have fun, I'm not really here to be casual or to be friends. I'm here to sell you knives and then leave. So don't worry about the water. I know you watched that DVD by Margot and Betsy Crouch, the demo DVD. Okay, it's like 6 or 7 years old now. She takes the water, takes 2 sips, leaves it alone the rest of the demo. But she takes the water. She takes 2 sips and leaves it alone the rest of the demo. I like water. Allows you to keep a better pace. Okay? Take the water. Are we good on that point? Yeah. That's by the way, a high level point right there. Nobody's going to tell you anything. That's like a deep level of presentation tip. You wouldn't even thought. Get all materials before you start the demo. Get all materials before you start the demo. Of course, that allows you to not abrupt the flow of the presentation. And you can help them choose which foods you want. Okay? All materials before the demo. These tips, by the way, are in like chronological order of when they happen before, during, and after the demo as well, so you can notice that as well. So it doesn't interrupt the flow. Always share goals. Always share goals, and then ask them what their goals are. Hands up if you've ever done that before. Ask them what their goals are. Yeah, no hands. I love that. You know why? Because that's one thing you can bring back to your demo right away tomorrow. Sam Hutton from the Guelph office always asks this question, has had amazing results. How often do you think customers actually get asked their goals? How often? Boss, they walk into work, hey, Michelle, thanks for coming into the bank today. What are your goals today? What do you want to achieve? How many customer interactions do you want to have today? Tell you what, why don't you shoot forward? They don't talk about goals. Most jobs, I should say. Some of course do. Maybe banks do, I don't know. Okay? But you're going to learn some incredible things about people in general and those specific customers that you can use to your advantage. I mean, you know, if we take that as an example in your demo, of course, just learn about them is wonderful as well. Okay. How nervous are you to ask for food? Food. If I could think of one thing that I would pick out above all else that I love about showing Cutco, free meals. You know when I do my demos, when I'm working full-time? Breakfast, 9 to 10 a.m. Lunch, between 11 and 1 or so. Tea time, 3 and 4. And a 6 to 7 o'clock demo, if I'm working full-time. Okay? You know why? Because I don't have to buy food that day. I don't even pack a lunch. I get cheese, I get crackers, I get apples, oranges and pears, bananas. I might get cereal in the morning. Get my flatware out, right? Right? Cutco samples at VectorConnect.com. Shameless plug there. Why are you nervous to ask for food? Can I ask for a show of hands? You can trust me, I'm not going to tell your managers. Who has never cut food in a demo? Not once. I mean, just actually literally not cut food once. Wonderful, hero. All right, cool, man. That's great. You're going to love this talk, by the way. All right? Use this tomorrow. Cut food. And the reason you might be nervous to ask for food is because you might be, or the reason you might not be getting the results you want with food cutting, because you know food cutting increases results. You know that, right? You told that through the entire training. You've seen it with your other peers. I'm telling you now, okay? I cut food every appointment. Doesn't matter what it is. So what I'm saying is why are you nervous to ask for food? How are you asking? Let me say this. Are you asking like this? Mrs. Jones, is there any way you could please grab a few pieces of food for us to cut up? I mean, you're expecting them to react. If you ask like that, you may as well get an answer like, in this household. No, no, no. We don't cut food here. Thank you very much. Let's just see your demo. You can get on your way. They don't react like that, folks. The more fun they have when they cut more food, right? Of course, the more knives you sell. Ask anybody. Invite your clients to answer the phone. Who's ever gotten a phone call during a demo? Invite your clients to answer the phone. Invite them. Right? You've done this, Hannah. Love that. Okay? Invite them to answer the phone. Don't say, hey, I got a few minutes. Go ahead. Take your time. Don't worry, Mrs. Jones. No problem. It's good. But you say, oh, Mrs. Jones, you can go ahead and get that. You stop immediately. You stop immediately. And you say, oh, don't worry, Mrs. Jones. Just go ahead and take that. I'll be right here. Okay? Now I got a few minutes, but go ahead and get that, Mrs. Jones. Okay? Great. More often than not, you might have seen this, you will see this in the future, she'll say, hey, Sally, hey, listen, I just got this really cool person over here. They might not say really cool, but if you're me, they do. They say, I got this really cool person over here, and they got a great demo going on. I just really can't talk to you right now, but I'd love to talk to you later. Can I give you a call back? Awesome. Thanks so much. Now, how much trust are you building right there? Isn't that cool? Trust is the way for the future, and it has been historically so anyway. So you're building trust, you're building respect. And you say, of course, what? When they sit back down, you say, hey, listen, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you value my time and that this is important to me. Right? We okay? We all right? Gotta get up and dance some more? Don't make me go all Ellen on you guys. Make it happen. All right. Where am I? I don't even know. Oh, yeah. If the spouse is not at a demo, if the spouse is not at the demo, reschedule. Yes, I said it. Reschedule. In that other talk I referred to earlier, Eric Cheshire talking about seeing the right people. He says, I showed up to a demo, the husband wasn't there. I know, based on statistics and knowledge and logical common sense, that I would not want to do this demo just yet. So I rescheduled for later. Now, I'm not sure, this is his words, I'm not sure what they would have bought in that first demo, what the wife would have bought in that first demo alone, but all I know is they bought over $3,000 a second demo when the husband was there and gave me 15 recommendations. Can't hurt your odds, right? Can't hurt your odds. If not, try a condensed version. What is a condensed version? All that is going up from the demo, goals, warm-up, building rapport, all the demo sections up until the summary. You ask, what do you think about Cutco? You don't go through price comparison, you don't go through close, all right? This is my opinion, check with your managers before you implement this. And then you say, so what do you think about Cutco? Cool, well when's the next time we can get together with your husband/wife, whoever's not there, and go through that first part, and then we can go on with the presentation. What happens at that point more often than not? Husband/wife, whoever was there with you, builds Cutco up until you're actually going to see the other person. Without you there, that's powerful. B, they don't know the prices. So Mr. or Mrs. Jones, whoever's not there, can't get scared or have a heart attack because they don't know what Cutco is yet, and they don't even know how much it costs. Right? Cool. Is that a good tip? What do you guys think? You might be scared to reschedule. Oh, it's one less demo. I can tell you it'll be more beneficial in the long run. If the spouse is in the house but is being lame, introduce yourself before the demo, not after it starts. After it starts, there might be a little bit of pressure there. Hey, hey, come on in, join us. Join us. We got pretty knives on the join us, right? No. Hey, you walk in the door. Hey, great. Is Mr. Jones going to join us as well? Oh, no problem. Can I just introduce myself really quickly? I'm going to be in your house anyway. I feel more comfortable if I, introduce myself. Hey, Mr. Jones, thanks so much for having me over. I appreciate having me in your home. Listen, this demo is not going to take very long. I would love to have your opinion. I promise it's not worthwhile in your first 15 minutes. Just go back to your Jays game. Okay? Don't worry, they're going to lose. I'm just kidding. I'm a Jays fan. All right. Emphasize the guarantee. Emphasize the guarantee. Joel Murray, again, one of our assistant managers, it's a simple point, right? But how many of you just read through the manual in that section? You know what he says? Before that section even starts, he says, even if you totally, his words, even if you totally ignored me to this point in the presentation, that's okay, because this is the most important part. This is why, pay attention, all of my customers are loving their Cutco. This is why. Cool line, huh? Even if you ignore me totally, it's okay, it's the most important part. Alright? This is why all my customers are loving their Cutco. Next point. Use humor to your advantage. Use humor to your advantage, even if you have none. You can see my next comment there. Ask your manager for some great jokes, people. Great equals cheesy. Cheesy equals more CPO. checker, Mrs. Jones, when you got guests coming over. Use a spatula spreader, wipe it off once, you're all set. Check your makeup, make sure you're looking all fine. All right, keep cutting, keep serving, you're good to go. Hors d'oeuvres are all ready. Okay, Mr. Jones, same deal. Right? Oh yeah. Actually listen when they're giving an objection instead of waiting to react. Actually listen. Isn't that a foreign concept sometimes? Don't we just talk and talk? We're trained to talk. We should be trained to listen more than talk, right? If you listen the right way, talking becomes less and more effective. Heard that before? Sometimes, I want to give you a really quick example. I saw a rep do this one time. I saw the rep do this. I was field training with him. I saw it. It was crazy. The customer was giving an objection. And while the customer was giving an objection, the rep was like, that's exactly why we had the trading special. Right? It's crazy. That's what the dude did. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. We trained this? Oh, it was me. Shoot. All right? The point is, sometimes we don't just listen. You know, we're trained just emphatically on how to answer objections and questions the right way. That sometimes we get so caught up in the pattern of learning how to do them properly, so caught up in the learning them how to do them properly and practicing, getting the words down, that we forget what one of Ms. Azinger's biggest message tip was listening to your customer and adapting even though you're keeping the same content and the concepts, right? Forget to listen. Listen. Take a breath. Consider, then answer. Here's another little psycho tip for you. That means psychological, not just crazy tip, right? Psychological tip is this, is that when you stop, breathe, and listen, chronologically, listen, stop, breathe, answer, the customer is thinking as you're stopping, uh-oh, what did I just say? Did I insult them? Why are they stopping? Why aren't they saying anything? Right? That means you're paying attention in their mind. That's cool. Okay. Make your favorite piece a set. Make your favorite piece a set. Or at least table knives, because they come in sets. Or at the very least, make it a butcher knife. Because what set is the only one that comes with that? Well, previous to the Signature and Ultimate, I should say, I guess, is the Homemaker set. If you are good at selling the butcher knife, every other knife makes sense. Have you noticed that? Butcher knife and carving set, right? Master carving set. Those three knives are the hardest ones to sell. Once you sold them, you have a homemaker sale. Okay? Or a three-piece sale, I guess, technically. You want to know what my favorite piece is? My favorite piece is the cheese knife. Now, I know I just told you to have a favorite piece of set. My favorite piece is a cheese knife. So you know what I sell all the time now? I sold a ton of them. You know what I sell all the time? Signature sets. Oh, gotcha. Trick question. Signature sets. Since their inception, our office's sales, okay, have totaled over, I would safely guess, very safely guess, $15,000 just from signature set sales. Not including my personal set sales for the signature set. That cheese knife is like my gateway to, it's my stairway to heaven for the signature set sale. By the way, Mrs. Jones's cheese knife is only available in this set if you want it in a block. Do you want me to go ahead and write an order for one or two sets? Get the idea? My favorite piece is a cheese knife, and that helps me a lot. Make your favorite piece a set. Ask top reps what their favorite piece is. They might give you one or two pieces, but they say, yeah, this is one I love, that set. It comes with that piece in there. Spread your Cutco conviction evenly, right? Be there for the customer, you'll make more money. Be there for the money, you'll lose more customers. Just a little quick psycho tip. Alley-oop and leapfrog whenever possible. Alley-oop and leapfrog whenever possible. If you're not familiar with that concept, by the way, I encourage you to ask your managers how to and when to. But the idea is as often as possible, and any way possible. Just getting recommendations or leads, whichever division you're in, and you're able to get from that lead to the next appointment with that person on the list. Leapfrogging or alley-ooping at different points in time. Here we go. Compare Cutco to other great investments throughout the demo. Here's an example. Not done yet. Thanks, Mark. It's okay, man. I can tell you're new. You'll get it. It's okay. Sorry. After touching the 4 points of the guarantee, here's a fridge analogy that one of our top assistant managers in Canada, Nathan Small, did all summer long. Sold a ton of Cutco. After the guarantee. So Mrs. Jones, Cutco is a lot like buying other appliances in your kitchen. If you buy a new fridge, for example, how much would that new fridge cost? The answer should be around $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money, wouldn't you agree? For sure. But it's also totally worth it because of how often you'll use it every single day. Now, how long does a good fridge tend to last? 10, 15, 20 years. So it's a pretty good investment, right? Now, what if you could buy a fridge that had a forever guarantee? If it breaks, it's replaced for free. If they come up with a new technology, they upgrade your fridge for free. How much would you be willing to pay for that kind of a fridge? A lot more. And you're hoping they're going to say 5 to 7 grand. Yeah, but it's totally worth it because it would last forever. It's still a lot of money. See, that's exactly like Cutco. It's $5,000 to $7,000 fridge that you're going to have to use. You're going to use every day and never have to replace. Do you see how Cutco fits into the market? How it fits into your own home? Okay, cool. What do you think? Wow, you guys eat lunch. All right. Section 3. Section 3, after the demo. Thanks. Thank you cards make people smile inside and out. They make them smile inside and out. Thank you cards. You know why people love texting and emailing? You know why? You've heard this. You felt this. Because you can get a smile like that. You can click on a link from a cell phone now. I just did it the other day. And watch a funny, funny clip on YouTube right away. And your day is turned around. Right? Nobody looks forward to mailboxes. What do you get in mailboxes? Bills. Not much else. Really. These days, not much else. What if you were to do this? What if you were to drop a thank you card in there after the demo? I'm going to get to my ninja tip in just a second. Next one. Follow up when you say you're going to. Follow up when you say you're going to. Top reps keep a notebook in which they write down what happened and then ask their manager how to deal with it the next time, or they practice answering the objections they hear until they're fluent with the answer. That one should be pretty self-explanatory. Get back on the phone. Get back on it. It's the only work part of this position. The demo is the reward. See, folks, the demo is fun, okay? But they aren't going to set themselves up. They aren't going to set their own demos up. I'm really sorry you have to show an awesome product, be rewarded by having a super flexible job, great income, and have to work with the best people in the world. I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to ask a little bit more of you. I'm going to ask you to keep working hard on the phone and keep setting up those demos, because that's the reward. I'm really sorry about everything else. I can't control that. And if you don't keep setting up demos, you won't stick around very long, which makes me really sad, because if you don't stick around very long, the party only gets better, folks. All right? Where you are right now. Here we go, wrapping up. Have a pre-written thank you card that you can customize in the mailbox and drop in the mailbox on your way from the house. Make sure to include something personal you talked about or that happened in the demo. Okay, side rooms, guys. Side rooms from Great Lakes. Okay. The point is, folks, is how often do they get that joyous experience from a mailbox? All right? They're not going to check the mailbox as soon as you leave more often than not. It happens once in a while, sure. But you drop that in, you know, outside the door, in your car, you know, whatever. Hey, it was a great demo. I really hope your kid gets better soon. You know, whatever, look at your report. And they open that mailbox and they think, wow. They know you dropped it off afterwards. It's not impacting your success there, but it's like, wow, that was a really considerate thing for them to do. No sale or sale. Consider the depth of that action and how far along that will transfer and translate into your success. So by following a couple of these steps, you will drastically improve your effectiveness right away. Also, by not throwing everything you learned here today on this handout into your demo right away, you're giving yourself the opportunity for actual improvement, not just quick fixes. And which one is the better one? You want quick fixes or actual improvement for long-term success? Actual improvement. Okay. Thanks very much for your time.